Okay, we're group 3. I'm Kevin, this is Sihan, Paddy, and we're going to be talking about our structure and competitive analysis for our business plan. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you now about our suppliers and our customers. Our first supplier is going to be AS Amusements. These basically supply everything we need. They're located in Kells and Meath, and they supply a games machine, which gives us 450 arcade games. They also do pool tables, air hockey tables, snooker tables, and foosball tables. And they're also the cheapest option I've found out of all our suppliers. The next supplier we have is Bespoke Arcades. These are located in England, and they have also got the 350 arcade machine, and they also have the 450 arcade game machine. These machines you can also hook on PlayStations onto it. They've got high definition screens. So if we got these screens, they would replace television screens. You can play television and arcade games on it. The only problem is they are more expensive than the Irish-based consumer, and we have to import these from England. My last one, Evoy Gaming. These supply all basically our big video game machines, like the shooting games, as you can see on the right, and the driving games on the left. These are the most expensive of the machines, costing $7,000 each and more. So that would be where we need our big capital investments. Other consumers that I found, we have Geough Entertainment, which supply pool tables and snooker tables in Ireland. Argos is another one that supplies snooker games, snooker tables, pool tables, and foosball tables. Game and Smiths was the one that we're looking at to buy all our PlayStation and Xbox games and controllers, and there's a deal in Smiths at the minute for €160 for a PlayStation game and 2 controllers, which is the best deal I can find at the minute. But obviously at the time that we were buying these places, all the different deals going on. The last place I found was deals.ie, which is an online website, and on this place you can buy second-hand snooker tables, pool tables, and ice hockey machines, things like that, which would possibly give us, more market revenue. Our customers, which Paddy is going to talk about later on, we've got students, secondary school students, the general public, games enthusiasts, and professional gamers, which Paddy will talk about more in depth later on. So industry developments. The gaming industry basically started in the 1970s. In 1971, the first computer game, Computer Space, was set up. This was followed in 1972 by the setup of Atari, and later on Pong and Space Invaders in 1975 and 1976. Worldwide games everyone knew about, brought the games industry to the fore basically. In the 1980s, the Commodore 64 came out. This was a tape-based machine, and it revolutionised gaming at the time. Basically it was like the PlayStation today, but with tapes, and it was very popular. To the end of the 1980s, huge games like Tetris came out, and Nintendo brought out its first Game Boy in 1989, the handheld Game Boy. In the 1990s then, gaming improved again. The PlayStation came out in 1995, which was the first home disc-based game, which was a huge advancement. And then in 1996, a hugely important factor for our business was the bringing of the park and ride, as they were called at the time, video games, which is basically the big driving machines and the big shooting machines, which are still widely used today. If you come into the 2000s, then we have the PlayStation 2 came out in 2001, which was a huge game machine. Sony was this company, and this brought about huge competition as Microsoft then sought to bring out their own version. So Microsoft followed with the Xbox, and Nintendo did not want to be left behind, and they brought out the GameCube in 2003. This was a huge move, as these three big industries were competing to bring out the best games console. In 2005, the PSP was brought out by Sony, and the Xbox 360 was brought out by Microsoft, and the following year the PlayStation 3 and the Wii were both brought out by Sony and Nintendo respectively. That's where we are at the minute. The Wii recently brought out a game, Wii Sport, which was the sell the most games ever, over 2 million copies. And obviously the industry is going to be further expanding as the years goes on. As you can see, over the last 30 years, so that's why we feel it's a good place to start a business. So now, Paddy, you can talk to about the barriers to sector development.
I'm going to bring you through the barriers of entry to the market. There are many barriers to the entry of this market, such as the location. We found that it's going to be easiest for us to stay on campus, but it's very difficult to find space, and space is very limited, so we thought we could get a temporary place in the Rendezvous Cafe. This cafe is used rarely during the year, so we found that perhaps they might let us use it on a rent basis. We've also found cost. It's going to be very high cost initially, but we found that perhaps with grants or capital investments we might be able to purchase the best quality machines and then get the best out of our customers. Also staffing. We're all students here, and that's going to mean that no one's going to be able to work full-time in the place. So we might have to either hire on new staff or limit opening hours, which would limit our market.
Hi, I am Sihan. I'm going to do the barriers to sector development. Actually, there are 4 sectors to stop our development. The first one, just like Patrick mentioned, the location, and we all can say playground is really important. Because we just have a temporary place, and if we're going to develop our business and running our business in the future, we need a place, permanent place to settle down. And the second one is competition. As we know, there's a few games room in International Student Union, and also some pool table in the student bar. So our disadvantage is they are free, but our advantage is there are too many people and less machines. And the third one is cash flow. The reason why we mention cash flow, because we plan to start make profit from next year. So we need money to pay for the stuff and pay for to repair the machines, and also pay for the rent bills, etc. And then the final one is the negative influence, because there's a games room in city center, O'Connor Street. They have a lot of gambling machines in there, so that maybe will make some bad influence for us when we start the companies. Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm talking about the key market segments. Actually, there's a lot of market segments for the sectors, but I think this 5 is best for our company to have to focus on. The first one is the size. The market size to decide your capacity and your facility, and so when our company is running a business in UCD, we'll consider we can still start to a very small size. And because we focus on the students, that's our, just like the next one is the students is our main target group. So it's very low % for all of peoples. And the next one is gender and age. And we all know men and women have different interests in game. Like for example, all men like prefer the shooting games, or some game more have passion and competitive. So we focus on this part and to give the best choice. And the third one is target group. And Patrick is going to talk about the details for next section. And actually we are main target group with students and different kind of students, different culture and different age. And the fourth one is price. Actually our main income is come from the people who join our membership and can play the machines, or so our price is identify the price. We give them appropriate and very acceptable price for students. The final one, which I think is extremely important one, is demand and supply. What the customer want and what the customer needs. I do a little bit analysis, and 67 of students prefer have a games room in UCD, and to let them relax and to let them have fun in the game and to make more friends. So we supply them playground, we supply them bicycle service, yeah, and we supply them we're gonna hold a tournament like every month. So we just like our key concept, we connecting people and let them have fun. Yeah.
I'm going to bring you through the key customer groups now. We found that there's 4 customer groups in UCD. In UCD alone, there's 17,000 students, and we found that this is a great market for us during the week. But during the weekend, we'd like to open up to other students, such as secondary school students, who wouldn't have the ability to access us during the week because they're in school. Well, first of all, we'll talk to you about the large student base in UCD. As I said, there's 17,000 students, and there's different gaps in the day where students might want to fill these gaps. Instead of going to the library, they might want time to unwind and relax. So they might decide to go to the games room, make a few new friends, as Sihan said. International students also. We found that there's a large international base in UCD, and we found that people, they like to meet others with the same interests. So we found the gaming industry might help them do this. And during the weekends, we'd be opening up to the general public, and we'd be sort of focusing on secondary school students, as well as professional gamers and games enthusiasts, as many people in recent years have become very influenced by the games industry since the Commodore, as Kevin said, to new markets like the PS3, the Xbox, and we hope we'll be able to cater to everyone's taste. But this will be hard with a limited budget, so we don't know if we'll be able to do that, but we try.
So if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask us in the next class or email them to us. Thank you.
Thanks.